Hello everyone, welcome to Unicorn Dust Designs. This is Sammy, and tonight we are going to start off with this. What is it? A wall pocket? Is that what I don't know. But so this came from Hobby Lobby. We're going to take off all the stickers. We're going to take off the pads. This was one smart cookie putting these little furniture pads on the back so it doesn't knock into their door. But I like to clean all of my items before I put any paint on them. And then I did shellac this. So I like to use shellac. It is a stain blocker. I don't know who's used it, what it's been through, what it's been painted with. So I just prefer to use precautions so that I don't have to go back and do something again. So I shellacked it, and now we're taking Water Lily by DIY. We played around with this color a couple weeks back, and it is so absolutely beautiful. It's not everybody's cup of tea for sure. It is a brighter color, but once it dries down, it truly is a beautiful color, and it is very underrated. I get all of my DIY products from Bree, from upcycledbybrie.com. We're going to let this dry down. And then in the back of the pocket, I only paint so far down. I don't want to waste my paint. And someone's going to put flowers in here. You are not going to see all of that. So after this dries down, I am going to start wet distressing. And I am using my baby wipe. And I am going to go over each and every little detail on this. I wanted to bring some of the depth back by allowing, sorry, I'm moving around, you guys, if you could hear like my chair moving and stuff. I wanted to bring some of the depth back by bringing some of the black out. You guys, oh my goodness. Hello, welcome to my life. Now the second dog wants out. All right, so after I'm done wet distressing that, now I'm going to take Clear Wax by DIY, and I am going to clear the entire thing, the back, the front. Anything I painted is going to get that clear wax. Now I'm going over it with White Wax by DIY. And at first I was like, oh man, I messed this up. I probably shouldn't have done this white. It looked good as it was with the wet distressing. But as I start wiping back my white wax, I was like, nope, I made the right decision. I buff it out. I don't want it like stark white or anything. I just wanted to get up in those details a little bit. It also dulls down the water lily color a notch, so it's not so bright and in your face. And I ended up loving this. I put some vintage flowers that I got from another thrift flip, and I put those in there. It looks so beautiful. It even has like a hole in the back so you can hang. This will be available on my website for purchase, and I am loving this color. It is so beautiful, and look at those vintage flowers. I hope you guys like this. A simple and easy thrift flip. Something you guys can do too. Okay, you guys, more candlesticks. Yes, more candlesticks, because I am going to keep trying this milk paint until I get it right. So you guys might see a million fails before we grasp it, but we're going to get there. So I popped these silver, sorry for the, you're welcome. I popped the metal off the top because they were kind of loose. I put Gorilla Glue and then a little bit of hot glue just to get immediate hold. I just wanted to make sure that they were on there all the way. Now, okay, here we go. I had put equal parts warm water and then the milk paint powder. I mixed it up super good. And you guys, I even called Bree before I did this. Did you see that? That was like 2 drops, 2 tiny drops of the bonding. And I like got direction from her. I did exactly as she had told me to do. And then I let it set. And you guys, I let this milk paint set for like over an hour, and it would not thicken up. So as I'm waiting for that to thicken up, I am using Water Lily. I'm going to grab my salt wash, and I just kind of eyeball it and do it to my preference of thickness. The salt wash I get it, from the salt wash website. The link is in the description box, and it's basically like a thickening agent. That's how I I describe it. It adds depth, it adds texture, and it's supposed to give it like a weathered look to it. So I mixed mine. I'm taking my chippy brush and I'm stippling it on. You want to make sure that you are getting peaks out of this. And I'm going to give you a close up so you can see what I'm talking about. This is what is going to add the almost like concrete, chippy kind of finish to your project. Now, as I was reading the pamphlet, yes, the pamphlet that came with this, it said that when it was almost dry, so you see all those peaks, see how they come up to like a little point? It said that to let it almost get dry. Then before it's completely dry, you're going to take that brush and you're going to basically brush down the peaks. Now, I don't mind the peaks. I love the texture. Brushing down the peaks gave it more of like a stucco looking finish. So you see how I'm just lightly brushing the paintbrush over it just to knock down those pointed like tips of the salt wash. But I guess it's just preference because I really did not mind them, and it does give it a little bit of a smoother finish. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down and you're like, Sammy, you're just like blah 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 blah. But all right, here we go. You're probably gonna hear another dog clamoring at the dang sliding glass door. Okay, so here we go. I'm taking the candlesticks and I am going to use the clear wax because a part of me, it had already been an hour. The milk paint wasn't thickening up and I wanted to ensure that I get some layers of like a chippiness out of it. So as I go to put the milk paint on, I know right away it's not going to chip. And I know that because in the past, when it looks like this, when it looks like watered down paint, it doesn't work. If it was thicker, it would probably be chippy. So I don't know what I am doing wrong. I listened to Brie and did it step by step exactly the way she told me, and I cannot get this stuff to chip. And it is so frustrating because you know when you have like a DIY in your mind, you have the vision, you know what it's going to look like, and you get super excited. And then you take a product that's supposed to do something and it's not doing it for you. So it was a little bit frustrating, but I'm not going to give up on this. Okay, I'm not going to do it. So again, I take that clear DIY wax, I put it in random spots because I know that the paint is not going to stick to it, and that's going to add another layer of quote unquote chippiness. Now my little helper, Everett, he wanted to help sand. So we are sanding over that salt wash. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want that water lily to peek back out from underneath that white milk paint that we put on. So I do that all over our candle, and you don't have to do it. I just want to see more of the water lily coming through so that it looks like layered paint has worn and chipped over time. Did I just like repeat myself like a million times? You guys, it's late. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can relate. Okay, and then I'm going to clear it with some DIY clear wax, and we are good to go. So this is how they turned out. They do look old, they do look weathered, and they do have depth and texture to them. It just wasn't exactly what I was envisioning, but I do like them. They are going to be available on my website if this is anybody's vibe. I will say the taller candlestick, for whatever reason, has a tiny little wobble, and I couldn't find out why, but once you put the candlestick on, candle on, it's totally fine. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video so far and this bright water lily color because it makes me so excited. It's so bright and airy and beautiful, and so is that agave as well. So check out your Waverly paints because that is definitely a keeper. Get the small bottle if you're unsure. But I hope you guys are enjoying these thrift flips. Y'all, I got so many thrift flips I need to go through because now that I'm thrifting again, I keep on like picking up like, oh, DIY project, oh, DIY projects. So we need to get through a lot. And I definitely think we're gonna start transitioning, not just into spring, but just everyday decor, anything that I'm like vibing or feeling, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna like try and be like, it's spring, so I have to craft for spring. No, we're gonna craft for everything, okay? So you guys, if you're digging me, if you're digging the channel, if you're digging the DIYs, then make sure to like and make sure to comment. And all of my links are down in the description box. We got a Facebook group for sharing our crafts. I have a Facebook business page where I go live once a week, even though I've missed the last 2 weeks, I'm sorry. And then I have a website where I resell thrifted items as well as SVG files and PNG files. So all of that is down in the description box. Let's get back into the rest of this video. I cannot wait for you guys to see them, and I will see you again on Tuesday for Try It Tuesday. All right, bye guys. This little cutie is going to be a very easy flip, and some of you are probably cringing and being like, I can't believe she painted that. But I don't paint all of it, okay? I just wanted to give it a little mini update. It was beautiful as is, but I just wanted to step it up a notch. So I'm going to clean the little dish here, and I'm going to take that same water lily color. Now I am paying special attention to go slow and take my time around the bunny. I don't want to paint the bunny at all. I just want to update this flower. So I am going to do 2 coats of water lily on the bottom. Make sure to spray any of your glass pieces with clear matte by Rust-Oleum so we don't have any streaking or paint coming off in the future. I'm also going to paint the inside of our flowers, again, doing 2 coats as well. That is Hank drinking water. This video is a mess with background noise, you guys. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. And then there is, you guys, sorry for the mess. Okay, so that is going to dry down. Water lily dries down to be a really beautiful color, regardless if you're going to use white wax or not. But we're going to use white wax, of course. So I am taking my chip brush and then the DIY white wax. And for this one, I'm going to like feather the white wax out. I am not going to brush it back with any kind of paper towel. I'm going to apply it, and then I kind of just like go over it and over it with the brush to kind of buff it out and make it like feathered. Cloudy. I don't know what word to use for that. And I'm going to do the same thing for the inside of the bowl. And I do focus a lot of the white wax on the curves of the petals and the inside. Now, as a final little detail, I'm going to get white gold by that Alchemy wax. I get these from Bonded Painted Heirloom. And I am going to paint that on the rim of our flower. This is where it's like, you know, your thrift flips can go from, you know, they're cute to, oh my gosh, look at that added detail. And I love the way that this turned out. I love that the bunny stayed in its original vintage cuteness. And then we just updated the flower and gave it new life. Love the addition of that gold petal rim and the gold on the inside. Let me know what you think. Now you guys are probably like, Sammy, how many of these wood signs are you going to do? But you guys, I don't waste anything. And I had leftover salt wash and leftover milk paint. So I'm taking one of these pieces of wood. This is the same piece of wood that I used in the last one. They come from Hobby Lobby. There's, I think in a pack, there's about 4. And when you get them 50% off, it's amazing. And like this one, I did not stain it or anything. I have a set of like the brown ones and then these black ones. So I put the salt wash on, like you saw, just stippled it on. Now I'm going to take that milk paint because we had leftover milk paint, so we might as well use it instead of throwing it out. And I am going to just put that right on top of the salt wash, and then I'm going to let it dry. Now I will note, let your salt wash dry all of the way before putting your second coat on. Now I'm taking my rough sanding block and I am going to sand on top of everything. More so the salt wash. And I will say I did take this out and sand it with my sander just to see if there was going to be a big difference. And let me tell you, this salt wash, like I said before, it's like stucco. It's not going anywhere. It's not chipping off. If anything, it's just taking off that like top layer of paint, like the white, to expose more of that water lily. Now I'm going to take my IOD mold. I think Vonda has these in stock at paintedheirloom.com. I'll double check. And I'm using my amazing resin, which is just 50-50 parts A and B. Vonda actually sells this on her website too. You could get it on Amazon, and you can also get it at Hobby Lobby. We're going to let those sit and cure. It only takes 10 minutes. After they're cured, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop them out. That's Hank. I'm going to use Agave by Waverly, and this really reminds me of Farm Fresh. Kind of, sort of. I mean, maybe not. Yeah, it does. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, you know what? This looks like Farm Fresh from DIY, except it's a bit maybe brighter and darker. So maybe it's not. You guys. You guys, help me, Tom Cruise. We're going to just paint all of these, and we're going to let them completely dry. Once they're dry, I'm going to go back over them with the DIY white wax. Again, using a chippy brush on these. I'm going to coat the entire things, and I always make sure to push really well underneath the details. I'm going to take a paper towel and we're going to wipe back all of that white wax. We just want it to stay and settle into the details. I didn't like how the little face was really green, so I just dusted more on. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other two as well. So they're all going to be the same color. And I love using the white wax. You guys know me. Like, I just like using it because it pops out all these beautiful details of the molds. But you can use dark wax. You can use clear wax. There are many options. Just make sure to clear your little birdies after painting them. Now, because I don't know when to stop, I'm taking gilded gold wax from DIY, and I'm just putting a subtle amount on there. I am just kind of like nicking the wings with them, you know, just dusting it on there. I love this gilded gold wax. It's so gorgeous and just adds that little oomph, you know, that I need in some of my projects. So after we finish that, I'm going to take the Gorilla Glue and I'm going to put that on the back of our birds, and then I'm going to place them on our wood. Now, my bigger sparrow, swallow, sparrow, you guys tell me what bird this is. Swallow, right? Anywho, the bigger one, since the wood wasn't perfectly flat, it was kind of like coming up off the wood. So I decided to get some painter's tape and tape it down. That way it would curve with it. I went ahead and made my own stencil once again, but I messed up on the O. So what I did was I just took some of that Mylar and cut a circle out so I could just place it in there. No big deal. Now, if you don't have stencils, you can also just make a stencil with vinyl. You can buy stencils. You can do handwriting. You could do the carbon paper. You could do the Mod Podge effect. So there's tons of other options if you guys don't have stencils. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down. I'm going to use that same color agave that we used on our birds. This stencil brush is actually from Dollar Tree, and it is pretty darn amazing. I'm going to go in this time with a light coat. Do you guys remember when I did this the last time? We had, not with the flower and seeds, but with the stripe stencil that I made. I went in so heavy and there were so many bleeds. So I tried to always remember, go in light. You could always go back for some more. And I'm going to carry that through the entire stencil. And y'all, look at this. No bleeds whatsoever. Gurga. I'm going to take that little center out. There we go. Look at how good. It all worked out. But I don't like the little stencil holes on the A and the E, so I'm just taking a small paintbrush and I'm going to fill those in. And then what do I do next? Oh, I take a sanding block because I want to distress the lettering. I want them to, you know, flow and go with the rest of the sign. And this is how it turned out, y'all. I hope you love it. All of these projects are on my website. The link is in the description box. And I love that you can take a plain piece of wood, some salt wash, some paint. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. I could make these signs all day and be completely happy because the possibilities are absolutely endless. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you for clicking on it and spending your precious time with me, my family, and I always appreciate your support. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Oh, I like this lighting. One day I'll change this. I think I talk about this like every time I start filming an intro because it's so not the spring vibe I'm going for. But Hank, leave her alone. Nah. Okay. Side note, for those of you that like Dollar Tree, I am going to have Dollar Tree mystery boxes up on the website. All I'm trying to do is recoup my money. So I'm not like charging like extra on top. I'm just trying to recoup my money on the items. Additional $5 just for packing supplies and my time for packaging and sorting everything. And then whatever shipping is going to be. So if any of you are into that, then visit the website. There will be tons of stuff. Maybe it's stuff you already have or you've seen, and maybe some of it is hard to find items that you would not usually get in your store, but it is going to be, I think up to, I'm deciding if it's 20 to 25 items. But if you're interested, go check out the website. I appreciate you all for being here, and bye.